Hello everyone, welcome again to another session. How was the day? How was the day at work? Let me know in the comment section. So actually I want to touch upon something like really important because on Twitter there are a lot of people who keep posting about returns and a lot of people who post about they made lakhs and lakhs of money. Now all this is just it shouldn't really bother you, especially if you have a full-time job and if you're looking forward to make that extra income from markets. It shouldn't really bother you. And because I got a post today saying that how do we make such kind of returns, and that's something I want to touch on today. So please don't get worried about, don't be concerned or don't be very optimistic on how you want to make such kind of returns. It all depends on your capital. But the primary thing in market is capital. So if you have decent amount of capital, you can make even a 10% return on 30 lakhs is 3%, right? Sorry, 3 lakhs. 10% on 30 lakhs is 3 lakhs. Now the same on 1 crore is just much less. So don't look at snapshots and Twitter and don't try to be that person. Be yourself. Try to learn and try to find approach that suits you, and try to do that religiously. Try to follow that process and you'll start making money. But meanwhile, accumulate money, right? So as you work, try to accumulate money, and all you need is extra 10% than what the market gives every year. For example, last year market gave 100%, so if you're able to make extra 10%, which is 110%, you're good enough, right? So because remember, in compounding, extra 10%, so 20% CAGR versus 25% CAGR can make a lot of difference, and all we want is just a few percentage points more than what markets give or more than what mutual funds give. And don't rush behind stocks after breakout and all that. It just doesn't make sense from a risk reward perspective. So also from today, I'm planning to keep a hard stop at 11:30. So I will take all questions up to 11:30, and I will keep a hard stop because I want to make it a very strict 30 minutes. And we'll also cover some stocks from my side, and then I'll cover some stocks from your side as well. But if you want some questions to be answered, so do post them in advance, right? So that by the time I cover Nifty view and come back to your questions, I will take them up, and so that you don't get lost in that 30 minutes. Okay, so let's get started with today's Nifty outlook. So I think Nifty is kind of going sideways, and we did speak about the two indices yesterday. Now if you see what DAX has done, is DAX has completely reversed from that point, right? It has completely reversed from that support, and even Dow Jones has completely reversed from that support today. So the markets are kind of turning positive, and I don't see any problems. As I said yesterday, all you can do is follow the trend, be there and not predict anything. Also DAX, the dollar index is kind of consolidating around that highs, and I feel we might probably go sideways or something like that probably in the future. But Nifty is in a consolidation mode, and I feel we might consolidate for a few more days before we break out, or we take it out with a gap, right? So we spoke about this level the other day, right? So that's the level that the market is trying to break, and so it's probably forming inverted head and shoulders here as well, right? But the right shoulder is pretty deep than the left shoulder. It doesn't matter really, it's just a pattern. So tomorrow if we take this level with a gap, right? So if we cross 7850, 890, 870 levels, 850, 870 levels with a gap up, then I think we're going to head to all-time highs again. And any retest towards levels of 7850 must be bought. But today what happened was, today there was a crazy gap up. I think it was a market which was unplayable. Unless you went long when we broke this, and you probably could have gone long and then you would have exited here with minor profits, right? Also it was expiry, so there could have been multiple ways you could have traded, but when moment you saw the resistance here, probably could have sold off all the call options there and could have made some money. But yeah, that's not really our forte, and we're not going to spend much talking about options. But the levels for tomorrow would clearly be 7850 to 870. So that's the level that I'm going to focus on for tomorrow. If you cross that level with a gap up, any level, right, from 1850 to 1870, if you gap up towards this level, then probably we're going to head higher from there, right? But this level is proving to be a very strong support, right? And I think if you go below this level, then you're going to probably fill that gap. Otherwise, we're just going to stay within that zone there. And also remember, this trend line over here could also prove to be good support, It's not a very perfect trend line because it's just second touch point. Or tomorrow, if we kind of gap down and come towards levels of 675, that also can be bought, and then probably we might go ahead and then break out from that level. Okay, so I think yeah, that's the outlook for Nifty tomorrow. But overall, there is no signs of worry in the Indian markets. We are one of the best markets, one of the strongest markets. We've seen how stocks are flying, and I don't see any problem here whatsoever. Don't fall for all those talks about that we're going to crash and all that. That's all just, anyone can say that. Even you, even a kid can say that. And one day you're going to get it right, and one day you're going to just, thump your chest and say, I said it, right? Now, that's not how it works. So all matters is whether you're making money or not. If you're not making money, rest everything doesn't matter, right? So you're just fooling yourself. If you're going telling your friends that, you have a 5x stock which has moved up 500%, but you have only a 2% allocation of that stock that returns doesn't make sense at all. But if you had a good, at least a 10% allocation and your stock moved of 5x, then that makes some sense, right? But if you had a really good allocation, 15-20%, and that stock even moved 100%, that makes more sense than a stock which was 5% allocated and moved up 5x, right? So try to focus on, decent returns with a decent allocation, and that should be more than enough to keep you going, for many days ahead. But remember, we've started in July, and now even we've crossed 20%, and we are comfortably staying above the 20% level. And we've had a smooth equity curve without any major drawdowns, right? Now that's what you call is peaceful positional trading, right? You don't have really much drawdowns, gold stocks which are strong, and then markets will take care of themselves. And remember, we have some really good trades. So again, I've trailed my stop loss for TATALXSI. We'll look into the stocks as well. So LXCHEM, is kind of we spoke about this level yesterday, right? So we said that this could probably act as a support or resistance. The trend line is something that I'm not really sure which trend line, but yeah, this could be a trend line that LXCHEM might take support around. So probably tomorrow, if you have a green candle, then that could be a good support. But if we break above 597, then I'm going to trail my stop to 540 because this is really getting tight, and I see a drop in the moves, right? So we had a big drop here, lesser drop, and even now a lesser drop, right? So which means probably we are going to head higher soon, or we're going to break down soon. Anything can happen. So stop here. Nothing has changed in LXCHEM, but something has changed in TATALXI. TATALXI has given 2 continuous days of move, so I moved my stop loss to this low, which is 5790. I've kept it as 5750. So here I'm ensuring myself around 29% profits, and in LXCHEM we are ensuring ourselves around 50% profits, right? So remember, even though this is up 60%, we are ensuring 50%, and here we are ensuring almost around 30%, right? So we're not giving back much to the markets, right? That's also very important. So next is ANURAS. ANURAS is just going sideways. It might probably 2 more days of move, and then we are going to have a similar kind of resistance on the top. We might go sideways for some more time before we break out above that high. Okay, and then CRAFTSMAN is kind of retesting that breakout zone, and I think we might again reverse tomorrow or day after, or in the coming days as well, right? But overall, I think these are some of the stocks. So these are stocks that we hold, and there are some really good breakouts which have happened today. VIP Industries has moved 10%. Now all you had to do is, right, so we recommended this in the newsletter somewhere around 420 odd, if I'm not wrong, right? So all you had to do was, you had to first buy was here, then probably your second buy was when we crossed that high there, right? And now your third buy could have been there. So overall, you'd have had first buy there. The second buy was here when you crossed that high. Now third buy is there, right? How could you have trailed your stop loss? Your stop loss initially was around 390 odd levels, so that was your initial stop loss. Then you trail your stop loss to this point here, right? Or even this point if you're a little aggressive. Now you trail your stop loss here, right? So literally you're sitting on a decent profit. You're sitting around 60 points on a 15% profit, and combining these positions, you'll be probably sitting in a few percentage points profit. But this is really picking your momentum on the weekly charts. This is also given a good breakout, right? So that's a resistance, major resistance. It has broken out, and I'm seeing easily levels of 600. Remember, I mentioned this can also be an investment stock, because on the monthly charts, it's just going, forming high lows continuously. So there are many other stocks. I won't really focus on them, but a few stocks that I want to focus on is Network 18. It is moving really strong. I think once it breaks 73 levels, then it's easily heading towards 175, but it might take a few months to probably a year or so as well. So don't come back to me saying it is not moved, right? So Inox Leisure is also doing really well. Again, a stock which has been trending in parallel channel, and it's about to cross an all-time high. And if it crosses all-time high, we are probably heading towards the upper end of the channel in the next year or so. Probably we can see levels of 800, right? Yeah, the few other stocks, Venky's is something that might break out very soon. I am seeing it consolidating. It's right around the consolidation zone. That's the kind of the move out of the trend line, and we are kind of consolidating again here. So I think this is getting really tight. And just in this case, just keep a GTT above 3000 levels, sorry, 3050 levels, and you can with a stop at 2880 or 2850 also would work, and this can really head higher from here. Okay, what are the stocks? Upper Industries, do focus on this. This is going to break out really soon. ICL was a breakout retest. We spoke about this, and sugar stocks are again in positive. And remember, Goa Carbon, we've had a retest opportunity. You could have bought in case you wanted to. And Graphite also is, consolidating around this zone, right? So there are a lot of stocks that are looking good. And a few more stocks that I want to discuss is Suprajit. Suprajit is also looking very good. It has, kind of formed a base here around the trend line support. And it's kind of had a good day today, a good closing, I'd say. And I think the stop loss is pretty small, 320, just 20 point stop loss, and this can do well also. Okay, next is sorry, just referring to my notes. Yeah, next is, so these are all pullback setups that you can look at. Next is Bharat Forge. Bharat Forge is around the trend line channel support. So if you look right from April 20, it is trending in a channel, that top and bottom, and I think it is kind of reversing today. And you might ask how I found this. CCI is crossing above -100. We spoke about the setup multiple times, and all you need to do is focus on this setup, and you might get many stocks with good risk reward. Now here the stop loss is just 710, right? Another stock that I wanted to focus on is HDFC AMC. Remember, these are future stocks as well, right? Futures. So AMC is taking support around that zone. The problem is it might break down or break out as well, or go up as well. So keep a buy stop over 2950 and with a stop around 2870, right? So that's one of the setups. Next is IMCO. You can go and check the scanner. All the stocks are from the scanner. So IMCO is also this is not a great setup from the monthly charts perspective, because it has been going sideways since many years. But I feel that this stock has made a bottom, and with a stop around 375, you can look for the stock to head towards 560 levels, which is the upper end of the channel. Next is Shanti Gears. Sorry. Right, again, Shanti Gears is also taking support around that trend line. Here, buy above 170 and keep a stop around 160. I will post these charts also on Twitter with clear levels, so that you benefit out of it. And a few other stocks is Devyani. Devyani's IPO stock, it is kind of taking support here. It's kind of consolidating around the zone. Now, how would you buy this? You buy this only above 117 levels, right? Because that's the previous high before it kind of came down. So buy above 117 with a stop around 112. That's just a 5 rupee stop. Then you have Websol again, which is looking good. Now Websol also is a trend line reversal, right? So you can look at this trend line, but not a perfect trend line. But I think this is looking good as well. But for me, it's not a really great setup, but it's a decent setup. Okay, JSL, it had a breakout and it's kind of retesting the trend line. Again, a very good setup. I think this is a very reliable setup as well. It's from this commodity space and might do well, right? So here, if you want, you can buy over 181 with a stop at 163 as well. Okay, there are a few more stocks. Maybe you want to go and take a look at it, like Swaraj Engines, right? And again, here, if you see, Swaraj is around the trend line support there. Again, it's a really good reversal. It is reversing from the previous. It is retested the previous zone. If you see monthly charts, that's a retest, perfect retest. It hasn't gone below the monthly candle, and it's kind of reversing this month. It's a very good setup, and it can do well going forward, right? It just needs to kind of break out. It is already broken out here. It's doing well. Can head higher. Few other setups are EaseMyTrip. EaseMyTrip is, again, we know EaseMyTrip how it's moving, and it's right around that. I'll delete this. This is not really relevant. but it's right around the trend line. And today was the first time I tried to move higher. So again, here you can buy even right now with a stop around 565, or buy above 620. Okay. Few other stocks. Avanti is again looking good. It has been consolidating since some time. So Avanti, kind of had a trend line reversal. It's almost a trend line reversal since that lows, right? So if you see, this is a trend line reversal, and it's also broken 5-week high, right? So Avanti feeds can generate some really good momentum now. Just buy it right now with a stop at 535. Okay. And last one is Granules. Granules has been consolidating for quite some time, and I think the consolidation might get over soon. Again, here buy above 337, the stop around 316. So these are some of the setups I wanted to share. Now, if you don't want me to share these setups and just discuss your stocks, also let me know. I'm okay with both. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Hey Dinesh. Hey HG. Hey Shankar. Hey Majid. Kumragiri. Hello. Arun. Hi. Jake. Hi. Amarji is asking view on Radico. Right, Radical looks fantastic, Amarjit. It is a perfect box breakout. It has given a follow-up buy signal as well today. So again, it's a fantastic setup. You can go ahead and buy it. Also, if you see, this had a fantastic breakthrough from 206. It's up almost in 2017. Again, we had a follow-through breakout in 2021. Jan, it's been trending really high. Okay, I think the entire brewery space or alcohol beverages space is looking fantastic. You can go ahead and buy some of the stocks from there. Naveen, Tata Motors looks fantastic. It has finally broken out from a major rectangle base. That's the base we are talking about. I think it's headed towards 600 levels now. If you see, that's the resistance where it was consolidating, the same resistance back in 2015, 2017, 2016. I think it's headed towards all-time highs again. 600 can easily come, and it has one of the strongest stocks in the automobile space, and it can do really well going forward. Again, if it crosses 600, then you can see levels even can be a very good investment stock, purely because of this channel setup, right? So I clearly see that in the next many years it can go even to 1200 levels. So that's the upper end of the channel. Now a lot of setups we've spoken about a lot of setups in the parallel channel. Just go ahead and watch some of the videos that I posted before. You might find them good. Yeah, Sagar, let's look at dynamic cables. Yeah, it's crossing all-time high. Again, it's a liquid stock, but your volumes have been picking up off late, so I think the volumes are coming back. Yeah, it's a good time to enter with a stop at 68, probably. Or if you're a little conservative, then keep a stop on 58 as well. Okay, Nesco, yes, Vijay, I remember you posted on Twitter, you DM me. Let's look at it. Right, so I have too many lines. That's a mess. Right, so let's clear all of. Okay, yeah, now it's much clearer. So Nesco is in a very long-term uptrend, right? So since 2009, it has just been trending higher. Now finally, it's trying to cross that monthly resistance there on 620. It is finally trying to cross after 3 attempts in the last 3 months. And this month looks like a strong candle, and also a nice, amazing volumes coming back in. So it's an amazing setup, Vijay. You can go ahead and take a trade here. Stop is 595 or even 570 levels. Okay. Cipla and Bandhan Bank. Bandhan Bank looks fantastic. It has good momentum in the banking space. It's kind of heading towards that level there. I think that's not a perfect trend line. That's something which I do wrong. But yeah, it once it breaks out above this level, above 330, then it can head even higher. But the momentum is clearly there, right? So the stop loss here is 279. 275 also can be a stop, and it's picking up good momentum. It can head higher as well. So Cipla, I'm sorry, again, that's yeah. So Cipla kind of had a breakdown, but yeah, I'm not really comfortable with that breakdown there from a trendline breakdown. But from a weekly charts, if you're asking from investment perspective, from weekly charts, there is a clear, strong, support around 860, 870 levels, right? So any more dip here can be bought as well with a stop around 860. But I think it's just a consolidation on the weekly charts. On the daily charts, it doesn't look really great. But on the weekly charts, it does look good still and can probably head back again higher. Today's candle looks promising. We have a long leg down. It looks promising, and you can enter probably now. Okay, with stop for the entire position should be around 860. Okay. Yes, Sagar. Dwarakesh, yes, Vignesh, it's still a good time to enter Dwarakesh. Just keep a stop loss. Today was an incredible day. Mercury is up 4%. Good Jake. Yes, Nureka looks fantastic. But is it worth entering right now? I'm not quite sure because the stop loss is pretty deep right now, right? So Nureka, there was this trend line reversal there. Many times there was opportunity. Now right now the stop is 1570 and 1585, right? So look if the stop loss is okay for you and see how much you can take. You can enter even now, it's not a problem. But tomorrow, remember it's an upper circuit. Tomorrow it might open 5-6% higher. So don't open buy directly at opening. Wait for a consolidation at least in the lower time frames and then buy. But it does look fantastic, and I think it can head higher from here. Okay, Relaxo also looks fantastic. I think we spoke about this. It was also a rectangle consolidation quite some time, and it's also moved really well. I think someone asked me about this a couple of days back, and also has moved 10%. So that was a beautiful consolidation there. It also reversed from trend line, and it is also broken out, and again a fantastic setup. Yes, Dinesh, really good to know that you've been taking newsletter recommendations. I think United Spirits, it's gone up one way move up. So I'm not sure whether you're looking for long-term investment or short-term, but yeah, in United Spirits, you can trail your stop loss, to this low here, right? So this low here, which is 800 levels. So United Spirits trail to 800, and VIP Industries you can trail to around 485, okay, or even 490 is fine. Okay, 500, I not do 500 for now. Keep it to probably 490, or best safe bet would be around 480. Keep it at 480. Okay. Yes, Sagar, that's a good point. How are we on the small cap? Even I've not looked at it since quite some time. Let's take a look at it. I think we are still close to that zone, right? We've not seen a strong move yet. Now there are two lines that I'm watching, right? So either I connect that closing there, which means there's a breakout, but if I connect the wick there, I'm still waiting for some moves there, right? So I'd be really happy if we close above 11,500, 600 levels. Then I can say that we've had a breakout finally, the same way we had in CNX IT or in Nifty back in December, right? So if you remember, I posted this chart of CNX IT, and I clearly said that we have broken out, back in Jan when we closed above. So I also said the same thing for Nifty as well. So we just wait for some more time. 11,600 above, if we close, then it's a good thing. Then we have broken out. Hey Masood. Yes, you can focus on infra definitely, SG, but on chemical stocks, it depends on what kind of chemical stocks you're holding. If you're holding something like Jubilant Ingrevia, definitely yes. There is still some time before Jubilant Ingrevia goes up, or it is still consolidating here. So it depends on the kind of stock you're looking at. If the stock's something like Vishnu Chemicals, if you're looking at, that has already gone up, not Vishnu Chemicals. Yeah, it has already gone up a lot. Again, here it's a good trade to take, but your stop loss should be, first look at your stop loss and then take a trade. But both sectors look fantastic. Okay, someone named Stock Market is looking for Heranba and Motilal. I think Motilal is just going sideways after that higher high. That was the breakout that I said. It's just going sideways. It's just about time before it heads higher. I think probably it might head higher this week as well because it's close to that trend line, very short-term trend line. But I think it should probably move in the next few days. Okay, or probably tomorrow as well. Yeah, let's wait for that. But it's a very low risk setup, a good one to take. Okay, Heranba is just going sideways. It's been some time. I'll just switch to this chart to just see. So I think that trend line there is not really a perfect one. But yeah, Heranba is just going sideways. Wait for this level to be taken. 845 is the level that you want to watch it for. Once it crosses 845, then it can do well. Okay, 845, even 850. Okay. Hey Suhas, is Esther forming ECP? Let's check it. Not a perfect VCP, probably because this low was broken, right? So it's not a perfect VCP. A VCP means this depth and the next depth should be shorter than the previous depth. So for example, this depth over here, and this depth is little smaller. So it's not a perfect VCP, but it looks like it is, kind of forming a VCP here, right? So this only if you look at this. So probably yes, but to be safe, keep a buy stop over 160, and it can, once 160 is crossed, then yeah, it's a breakout. Stormcatcher is asking my view on Acrysil. Okay, Acrysil is just retesting, just a small short-term correction in my opinion. So your stop here continues to be 600. Don't panic. It's just a short-term correction. It might head again. Yeah, it's just a breakout, consolidation. Devruta's Raymond and yeah, Raymond is looking good. So it tried to break out. It's a nice, inverted head and shoulders, not a proper one, but yes, I think you can buy about today's high with a stop around 445. Okay, but it does look good. I think it will face some resistance around 545 levels, but yeah, it does look good. You can go ahead in case you want to buy. Ramkrishna, yeah, it's gone up a lot, so you need to wait for some time. But if you're already holding 960 is a stop loss, but wait for some consolidation and then add. So whenever we have such stocks, wait for some long consolidation like this and then enter such stocks which have long consolidation. The chances of them giving good returns is very high, right? You want to enter stocks which have, this is a base on base. So if you see such setups, you can blindly enter them. Base on base setups are fantastic, and that's a base on base, right? You have first base and then you have another base on the previous base. That's a fantastic setup, and then you can enter, but right now it's too extended. Don't enter right now. But if you're holding, keep a stop and hold it. Tata Power, Tata Motors maybe, Masood, yes, you can enter, but Tata Power has gone up too much, right? This is not the right time to enter. I've spoken this multiple times. You cannot be entering stocks after it has moved up so much high. Wait for a consolidation, then to enter. I keep repeating this again and again every day, and I've seen the same questions coming from people who've been here. It's not bad, but you need to keep learning. You're not learning. If you keep asking the same questions, I'm going to keep saying same answers, and you don't learn, right? So you need to start learning at some point, and that can probably help you also in entering stocks. Okay, Tata Chem also, I think maybe Tata Chem has not moved that much. Let's check Tata Chem charts. Yeah, Tata Chem has not moved that much, but again here stop loss is 780. You can enter probably now. Keep a stop around 780 levels. Okay, it can do well. Suman, hi. Yeah, before that, Naresh has a question. Oberoi, Reality, and Galaxy has used the previous breakout. Please share your view on them. Yeah, let's look at them. Oberoi, Reality. Yes, it is retested. It's again going up, right? Not retest also. It's not even come here close to this. Yeah, but it does look good. Oprah Reality. Yeah, stop loss for this. Keep your stop loss around 705. Then once it crosses the previous high, then you can tell your stop loss to 848. Now remember, guys, the reality stocks, sugar stocks, all can go very fast up, but they can also come down very fast. So it's very important to protect your profits and then re-enter again if you need, right? Now, Galaxy Surfactants has been trending in a perfect channel, long-term channel. It is also retested. You're perfectly right, Naresh, and it is again trying to head higher. It's a perfect retest. I think there's no problem yet. Do not worry. I think it'll go higher. Suman, Triveni. I think there are two Trivenis. Which Triveni I'm referring to? I don't know. Maybe Triveni Engineering. It is kind of rejected from that level. Now, this is why I say you either enter here, or enter on breakout on the previous highs. You can't be entering now. If you enter there, then you kind of come down again, or take a small entry here and then add again when it crosses the highs. But for now, it looks totally fine. It's just retesting probably levels of 180 again. It might come towards 183 levels and then it might head higher again. But the setup looks really good. Once it breaks out, it can do well. It's a long consolidation that's going on. Okay, Navkar Corp and Tharmat. Monil is asking this. Let's look at this. Navkar Crop is facing some solid resistance. It's facing resistance around that zone, but every dip is being bought. That's a good sign. Now, if you're holding this, keep a stop around 39 levels. On a weekly closing basis, if you have the guts to keep on weekly closing basis. But I think, yeah, if you see the trend line, it is kind of around the trend line, and I think once the stock crosses 46 level, then it can move a little faster. But until then, it might take some time, and it might move slowly. Okay, but yeah, it has broken out from this trend line, but this level of 45, 46 needs to be crossed for some good moves. Tharmat, I've not looked at the stock, to be honest. Yeah, I do have looked at. It has also broken out on 5th of October. Again, the stop loss needs to be around 56 levels. It can head higher. Just give it some time. It might head higher. Also, from the long-term charts, it's trading close to all-time highs, the previous all-time highs. It's just short-term consolidation, can head higher as well. Sandeep is saying he has joined IRS 4010. You can't add more now, right? So this was a perfect level that you added, 4010, the stop around 3550, but right now you cannot add because it's gone up too much. The whole world is behind IRSCC. It might start fading at some point. It's also nearing a very major resistance, so I'd not enter it right now. If you're having this position, then just probably wait for the next consolidation like this and then enter again. Like, to be honest, 4010 was a very late entry in IRSCC, but good, it's moving up, but keep a stop loss around 3550. Okay. Yes, I'll continue discussing my watch list as well. And thanks, stock market. You've been telling everyone to like the video every day. Really good. Yeah, maybe last one. Let's take Tata Coffee from Naresh. Sorry, Tata Coffee does look good. It has kind of a cup and handle breakout there. I think it looks very good. In fact, it can move very strong going forward. Okay, and also I think it is probable trend line retest there, but kind of a wick. You might see a wick there around that if you go to the weekly charts. Yeah, but I think it's a nice breakout this week, and it can do well in the coming days and weeks. Okay, so that's the last talk that we're discussing. Right, so 30 minutes, short and sweet. You also get to sleep. I also get to sleep more. But yeah, don't forget to like this video before you drop off, and don't forget to share this video with your friends and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I'll see you again tomorrow. Trade safe and be safe.